Welcome to the largest city in Canada. Toronto is one of the most multicultural cities in the world and is the economic heartbeat of the country. Many people choose to move here in the hopes of better job opportunities, world-class universities, and of course a more exciting social life. But just how much does it cost to live an ideal life in this city? That is a very personal question because to some, they could only be happy living in a spacious single-family home. Some people prefer to live in a condo, and others are just as happy living with roommates. Luxury is a relative term nowadays, but considering Toronto is the second most expensive city in Canada, none of those options will certainly come cheap. It is said that just to get by in Toronto, you need to be making a minimum of 4,000 Canadian dollars a month. The Wellesley Institute put out a new research paper recently called Thriving in the City and remarked that a single working age adult, to have all of their basic needs fulfilled and have some money left over for savings, would need to make at least $61,654 after taxes to comfortably live in the city. But even that figure falls very short for many people, especially those who want to be homeowners at some point in time, with the average real estate cost just absolutely skyrocketing all over the GTA. So in today's video, I will be sharing with you guys what my ideal budget would be if I were to live in Toronto again, and more important, answer the question, is it really worth it? Well, hello friends, welcome back to my channel and downtown Toronto here by Old City Hall and New City Hall. We are right in the heart of things. So for this week's video, I wanted to do a fun little comparison game, you could say, where I'm going to tell you guys how much my ideal life would cost here in Toronto. Not even my dream life of like extravagance and just, over the top. I feel like what I'm looking for is quite reasonable. Like, of course, it's upper middle class, you could say, because we are in such a expensive city, the second most expensive city in Canada. But what I'm comparing it to at the very end is going to be the approximate cost of how much that same lifestyle would cost in the country that I am planning to move to at the end of the year, that I am in the process of getting my immigration visa for. And to be honest, it's not just about affording it. The other question is it worth it? Like, is a 2-bedroom condo worth almost $1 million here in downtown Toronto? I'm not so sure. So even if I had the money, I don't know if I would even want to invest in real estate here in Canada, especially in the big cities, because I personally think it is a bubble. I think it is going to burst. So if I were to stay, I would be renting. And what do I ideally want to rent? I ideally want to rent a 2-bedroom apartment. Of course, I could make do with a 1-bedroom, but personally, I think now that I'm in my 30s, I want a bit more space, and I also want to be able to host my friends and family when they come to visit, and also when they're not there, I can use it as an office. So when I move abroad, I am going to be looking exclusively at just 2-bedroom apartments. So if I were to do that here in Toronto, the current average rental price is $3,200. As far as utilities go, a lot of apartments I've noticed actually include that in the rental price. So let's just pretend it's included in the $3,200 price tag. It definitely should be. So moving on to the next category on my list is groceries. Right now, I would say I'm spending about $100 a week, so $400 a month, but I'm certainly going with less expensive options. I'm not getting, everything that I ideally would like to eat within the week. So if we're talking about my ideal but reasonable sort of lifestyle, I say I'd probably spend about $150 a week for just myself, so that would be $600 for the month. For the next category, which is transit, even in my ideal life, I actually don't see myself spending that much in this category because, you guys know I don't like to drive, and having a car in downtown Toronto would honestly be just like a headache, if anything. So personally, I like to walk most days. I'll take the TTC once in a while, and if, let's say, I'm coming home late from a friend's place or something, I will take an Uber. Right now, I'm probably only spending like $50 or $60 a month for transport, but if, let's say, I was taking a couple more Ubers, let's just round that up to $100 a month. Now, my next category is certainly a bit more bougie. This is honestly where I do spend a lot of money, but I enjoy it. Like, these are the things that bring me joy, and I have been able to do actually for a very reasonable price while I've been traveling abroad, which is eating out, coffee shops, and entertainment. To be fully transparent with you guys, when I have been traveling, filming all my videos, it is cheaper and so much more convenient for me to just eat out every single meal. Here in Canada, it is of course very different. It is substantially more expensive. So of course I have to cook while I am here. And if I did live in Toronto, I think I would enjoy maybe cooking, 70% of the time, because I'm still being, reasonable. So 25% of the time I would go out to eat and grab a coffee, go out with friends for drinks. So for this category, I estimate that I would probably spend around $1,000 a month for like going out to eat, 3-4 times a week, grabbing, let's say, one coffee a day and grabbing drinks, on the weekends or something with friends. I think that's around what I would spend if I was going out that many times. The next expense on my list isn't anything too crazy. It is having a phone plan, having home Wi-Fi, which thankfully has actually gone down in price here in Canada. Love to see that. So I would actually budget approximately $100 a month for both a cell phone plan and also my home Wi-Fi. Now, my next category is very much a just general category that encompasses all the random things that you might need to buy. So let's just put it under shopping, where it might be things for the house, clothing, subscriptions, birthday presents, like whatever random little knickknacks that a person needs to buy, I'm gonna put under this category. And I think I would probably spend, on average, some months will be more than others, maybe $600 a month for shopping. Now, my next category is healthcare, and for those that don't know, yes, Canada has a universal healthcare plan that covers everybody and is paid through taxes, but it does not cover everything. Especially for somebody like myself that is self-employed, I would have to get a private medical insurance if I wanted to have things like dental, optometry, massages, like all of that stuff. To have it all fully covered, I'd need a private health insurance plan, or I could pay out of pocket. Judging from the numbers that I found online, I think for what I would need, it would be around $200 a month. So those are all my monthly expenses, you could say, but that doesn't account for the other very costly things that you have to think about when planning a budget, starting with savings. So as I mentioned before, I do want to be a homeowner in the future, so obviously I need to put money away for that. And then second most important point is, of course, retirement, because I don't think the government pensions really are enough for most people to live on, so I want to be able to put money away on my own to use towards retirement. Of course, it will depend on just how much money I am making, but my current goal is to be putting away at least 20% of my income towards short-term and long-term goals. Of course, the actual number will change depending on how much money I'm making, but just to give a sort of example figure, let's say for this budget, I'm putting away $1,500 a month. Now for my next category, I had to clip my mic so I can look at my phone to give you guys the figures of what it would cost in the category of taxes. first thing to be aware of is for me to even be approved to rent a 2-bedroom apartment here in Toronto. A lot of places do have a really strict rule that the rent can only be about 30% of your income before taxes. Now, just for ease, let's just round that up to, an easy figure, which is $10,000 a month and $120,000 a year. And as some of you may have already noticed, what is missing, right? What is missing in this equation? And that is my business expenses. Once again, just for ease of examples, I budgeted approximately $30,000 a year to be able to travel half of the year with, plane tickets back and forth from Canada, budget hotels, not even fancy hotels, but like budget hotels for the whole time that I am away, attractions, expenses, that I need to run my business, add another $30,000 to how much I need to make, but that of course I would write off because it is a business expense. I would still pay $35,355 in taxes in a year, and that is $2,946 a month. So we have come to the grand total, my friends. Approximately how much money I would need to make here in Toronto if I were to live my ideal lifestyle, pay my taxes, save for the future, and have a little bit of fun along the way, would be $150,000. Like, that is crazy. That is really, really crazy when you lay it all out. So in contrast to that, I will give you guys the approximate figure of how much I expect my expenses to be in the new country that I am moving to, where I will pay more or less 10% in taxes, and let's say I am saving the same amount, which is $1,500. In a month, I expect that I will likely spend around $5,000 Canadian dollars, which is $60,000 in a year. And, without telling you guys exactly how much I make, I will say, I already make that. That is already attainable for me to live that ideal lifestyle in the place that I am planning to move to. Yes, I realize that I am in a very privileged position, I guess you could say, that I have a remote job, that I have a Canadian passport that probably makes it easier for me to be able to be approved for an immigration visa, to be honest. At the end of the day, everybody in this world is trying to hustle. Everybody is trying to find their ideal lifestyle, and that's, a big reason of why a lot of people move to Canada, because they feel like this is an upgrade from the place that they are moving from. They are hoping to get a better paid job here in Canada, and I'm happy for them. I wish them all the best. So that is my comparison for you guys, and I hope that gave you a clearer picture of, why this move makes so much sense for me, because I don't have to be here, in Canada to make my money. I haven't been here basically for the last 5 years, and have still paid taxes for services that I haven't really used. So if this is something that I'm going to continue to do, which I would like to, we'll see how things go. Obviously, there's no guarantees. So I hope you guys will follow me on this moving abroad journey. And I think it's actually going to be in next week's video that I will be applying for my immigration visa, and I will vlog as much of the process as I can, so stay tuned for that. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments. Let me know if you are living your ideal lifestyle, how much it would cost, and also where would you choose to live if you could live anywhere. As always, I am sending you guys so much love. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and keep being your own kind of beautiful. Bye, guys.